Protection and indemnity, providing insurance for ship owners against third-party claims. Hi, welcome back to Commodity Brief. In this series, we're going to continue looking at the foundations of commodity trading, and in this episode, we're going to be looking at protection and indemnity. When we're talking about insurance, whenever we're looking at a voyage, we have to split it into two parts. First of all, the ship owner will take insurance for the vessel itself. So if there's damage to the vessel, he'll have a hull and machinery insurance, and if there are third-party claims against the vessel, he will have what is known as a PandI insurance, a protection and indemnity insurance. And on the other side, the cargo owner will be insuring the cargo itself for any physical damage to the cargo, and also their liabilities as charterers under a charterer's liability cover. Now, in terms of PandI is protection and indemnity. What this means is that the insurance is protecting the ship owner against third-party claims. Claims being made against the ship owner or against the ship due to their actions or non-action, and also indemnifying them against claims that they have to pay out, which were covered under the rules of the policy. So when we're talking about PandI clubs, the companies that actually provide PandI insurance, there is a vast range of them. And so we'll have a look into some of the details. But first of all, the cover that they offer, here you can see this is the standard club. This is a well-known English PandI club. And you can see the types of cover that they are providing. First of all, injury to crew or illness or death of crew or a passenger or other person connected to the vessel. We also have cargo loss or damage. So if the vessel's actions or the ship owner's actions manage to cause damage to the cargo, then the PandI club will step forward and cover this type of claim. We also have wreck removal will be covered. Pollution, this is very important when you're talking about tankers, and that's why the limits are so important. Collision, dock damage, and other fines that we might become involved with. Otherwise, we have clubs like Guard. Guard, they provide PandI cover, but as with most of the PandI clubs, they also provide cover to charterers, because a lot of the risks are very, very similar, just on the other side of the fence. And so here they provide a number of different options: a cargo owner's, trader's legal liability cover, or just a charterer's comprehensive liability cover, and a number of different options going down. And another is Skilled, which they offer a number of different products between PandI Mutual, PandI Fixed, and FD&D cover, which is also very important. Just a quick note there on the FD&D cover. FD&D stands for Freight, Demurrage and Defence, and this is a legal liability insurance. So essentially the PandI Club will appoint their own in-house lawyers to defend your case or to pursue a case for you, and they will also appoint external lawyers to handle that on your behalf, and they will pay for that against a certain deductible. So this is a very, very important type of insurance for ship owners and for charterers. And as we can see on the website of the UK PandI Club, loss prevention is a large part of the PandI Club's role. They spend a lot of time trying to identify what could go wrong and then managing to avoid it in advance. Otherwise, in terms of PandI, it's important just to quickly look at the history. If we look back 200 or so years, the problem was there were a lot of ship owners sailing around the world. They were sailing into ports that they weren't very familiar with, and they had this very, very, very interesting asset. They had this vessel which was very easy to attack legally within these different jurisdictions. And so we had a lot of claims being made against ship owners, and so they gathered together into groups. And the idea was that then they would be mutually protecting themselves in these groups, and the whole idea of the PandI Club has spawned from there. And we have the Ship Owners Club, which was started about 1855, and that's one of the first to come into existence, but there were a number that came in around the same time. Now, in terms of the different PandI providers which are around the world, there is a broker called Gallagher, which has a fantastic page in one of their reports, which tells us all about the different clubs which are available. Now, they can be split down into two different areas, essentially. One is the commercial PandI market. This is essentially the fixed premium. This is simply the fact that you have a company, you pay them money for an insurance, and if at the end of the year they've had bad results, that's their problem. If they had good results, you don't benefit. You know your price at the beginning of the year. Alternatively, you have the mutual groups. You have the international group and you have the non-IG. So these are all the ones in purple and in red. And these are the ones where ship owners gather together. They mutualize their risk. And so the idea is that one person has a big loss, then that will be shared amongst all the other ship owners, and so they can carry on doing their business and it can be manageable, but also it's people from the business who are managing these risks. And so we can see as far as the international group, the main PandI clubs, they tend to be from a lot of the different maritime nations. So we have a lot from England. We have also up in Scandinavia, we have quite a few of clubs, and then over in Japan. And we also have a number of mutual clubs which are not part of this international group, but they are also very important clubs. And so in terms of the international group or PandI clubs, we're essentially looking at these 13 clubs. If you want to charter a vessel, then you will need to take insurance for the cargo which is on board of the vessel that you're chartering. And so it's very important when you get your insurance to make sure the vessel is acceptable. And one of the criteria for whether a vessel is acceptable is, does it have a good insurance? Does it have a good PandI insurance? Will the insurance be able to pay if there is a claim against the cargo? There's a cargo damage which has been made against the club. And these are things that are very, very important. So the limits are very important. For any claim above about $10 million, there is a pool, and so they share the claim. And they have a present limit up to about $7.5 billion in order to handle a claim. The largest claim that they've had is the Costa Concordia, and that's about $1.5 billion. So this is a very important, quite a complex area of commodity trading, but very important to understand how it works. And I trust that this has been useful and informative. That brings us to the end of this episode of Commodity Brief. Please click back soon for future episodes.